So let's work on problem number 6. Please follow along as I read the problem aloud. Hank and Deborah each own 2 milking cows. One day they milked their cows and compared the amount of milk the cows produced in that one day. So we can see the table that shows how many gallons of milk each type of cow Hank owns produced, and we see how much milk Deborah's cows produced. So our question is, how many more gallons of milk did Deborah's 2 cows produce on that day compared to Hank's 2 cows? And you can see at the bottom of the page that I have my sentence. Deborah's cows produced gallons more than Hank's cows. So we have some hidden questions. Before we can figure out how much they produced altogether and compare them, we need to add to find out how much Hank's cows produced together and how much Deborah's cows produced together. So I'm going to start with Hank, and I'm going to do that right on the side of my table. So Hank's cows, he had his Jersey cows, produced 4 3/4 gallons, and he had his Holstein cows produce 4 1/8 gallons. And I can tell right away that I need to find a common denominator because I'm adding these 2 fractions. So I'm going to find my common denominator, and I can look and I can see that if I count by 4s, okay, if I count by 4s, I'm going to reach 8. So I know that 8 is my common denominator. So I need to change my 3/4 to something with 8 as a denominator. In order to do that, I need to decide what I need to multiply my denominator by. I have to multiply 4 times 2 to get my 8. So that means I have to multiply my numerator so that I will have an equivalent fraction. 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. Okay? So I'm going to bring over my whole number. And now I'm going to copy down my 4 1/8 because I don't have to do anything with that. I have that common denominator. So I can go ahead and add. I'm going to add my 6 and my 1, and I'm going to get 7/8. And my whole numbers, 4 plus 4 gives me 8. So I can see that Hank's cows altogether produced 8 7/8 gallons of milk. Now I need to figure out Deborah's total. So I'm going to go over, and on the other side of my table, I'll add Deborah's. I'm going to look, and I know that I need to add the 2 types of cows. So I have to add 5 1/2 plus 5 2/3. Again, I need to find a common denominator. So looking at that, because my numbers are low, I can say 2 times 3 equals 6. And I know that 6 is my common denominator. So I'm going to convert 5 1/2. I'm going to convert that 1/2 to an equivalent fraction with 6 as a denominator. So 2 times 3 will give me 6, which means I have to multiply my numerator by 3 to make that equivalent fraction. 1 times 3 is 3, so I end up with 5 3/6 as my common denominator. So now I am going to do the same thing for 5 2/3. I need to convert 2/3 to something over 6. So I need to figure out, I know that I multiply 3 times 2 to get 6. So my denominator I multiplied by 2, which means I need to multiply my numerator by 2. So I end up with 2/3. The equivalent fraction is 4/6. I'm going to bring my whole number over so that I don't forget to add it. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my numerators. 3 plus 4 and gives me 7/6. And 5 plus 5, my whole numbers, gives me 10. So right now I'm looking at that and I can see that I have an improper fraction. So I do want to make that improper fraction. I do want to convert that. So 7/6 converted, I can top dog it in the house. Top dog in the house and divide, and I would see that I would have 1 as a remainder. So I know that I have 1 1/6 just for that 7/6. But remember, I don't have just 7/6. I have that whole number 10. So I need to add that 1 and 10, and I get 11 1/6. So now I have the gallons of milk that they produced total for each person. I now need to compare it. I need to compare, and I need to find out how many more. So I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to subtract 11 and 1/6 minus 8 and 7/8. So very first off, I know that I need to get a common denominator. Now these numbers are a little bit bigger, so I want to think about my least common denominator, my LCD, least common denominator. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to take my 8, and I'm going to find multiples of 8, and then I'm going to check if 6 divides into it evenly. So my first multiple of 8 is 8, and 8 divided by 6 is not a whole number. My next multiple of 8 is 16, and 16 divided by 6 is not a whole number. My next multiple of 8 is 24, and 24 divided by 6 is a whole number. The whole number is 4. So I found my least common denominator. And remember, that's going to be important as you work with bigger numbers. So I now know that I have to change both of my fractions to something over 24. Notice I'm leaving room for that whole number to bring over with me. So I have 6, and I need to know what I have to multiply 6 by to get 24, which I know is 4. And that means I need to multiply my numerator by 4. So 1/6 equals 4 24ths. I'm now going to bring over my 11, my whole number. I need to also convert my 8 and 7/8. So 8 as an equivalent fraction with 24 as a denominator, I need to multiply 8 times 3 to get 24. So I need to multiply 7 times 3, which gives me 21. 7/8 is equivalent to 21 24ths. Bring my whole number over. Now, this is something that's really important that I've noticed that sometimes people will forget that we are subtracting here. So bring over that operation symbol as well so that you don't forget that you're subtracting. Now, when I take a look at this problem, I can see that I don't have enough 24ths in my first number to take away 21 24ths, so I need to regroup. So remember, when I regroup, I can take that 10, I'm going to take one of my wholes from my 11, and I'm going to divide, I'm going to do this off to the side here. So I have 11 and 4 24ths. I'm going to break down, I'm going to say that I have 10 and 24 24ths for my 11. I'm going to borrow one whole to get more 24ths, but I still have that 4 24ths. So I end up with 10 and 28 24ths. Many of you know the little trick where you just add your denominator and your numerator, which is great. If you know that little shortcut, please use it. And remember, we are subtracting. Let's bring that over. And we have 8 and 21 24ths. Now we have enough 24ths to subtract. We do 28 minus 21. We get 7 24ths. 10 minus 8 is 2. So Deborah's cows produce 2 and 7 24ths gallons more than Hank's cows.